Dear students, I welcome you all to this EduSat teleteaching program. Today I will be starting a very interesting topic. Let us see how many of you can guess the name of the topic from a simple example. Students, do you know what is this? When an insect falls into the region of the spider, then what happens? The insect is immediately trapped by the spider. So, the region of the spider is called spider web, and this region is very clearly visible to us. Next, what is this? Due to earth, an apple falls, satellite also moves. So, this region of earth is called gravitational field, and this region is invisible to us and spreads all around us. Due to gravitational field, also educational satellite moves and enables us for distance education. So, similarly, around a magnet there is magnetic field, it is also invisible to us and is always around us, in which an iron body is attracted. Now, let us consider a charged body. When we place another charged body of similar charges, you see it experiences a force of repulsion and the opposite charged body experiences a force of attraction. Then we may ask the question, if these two bodies are removed, then what is left in the surrounding? Is there nothing? If there is nothing, then how do force act on these bodies? How they know the presence of such bodies? So, in order to answer such questions, the early scientists introduced the concept of field. So, around this electric charge, the region is what? I am sure you must have guessed the name. Yes, electric field, in which the charged bodies communicate with each other, and this electric field is always around us and it is invisible to us. So, now let us have a small demonstration to bring your excitement in physics. Okay. Let us enjoy the kids experiment. Here I know you must have learnt about electric charges, that like charges repel and unlike charges attract. So, here I take this straw and I rub it with my talkies and I do it here, and when I bring close to this paper, small pieces of paper, then many pieces are attracted and have jumped to this straw. Okay. Let us do another experiment. I take the straw and rub it again and place on a bottle. This bottle I am using as a stand. Okay. So, when I rub this straw and bring close to this first straw, you see it is repelling. Okay. So, one way of to think this force is action at a distance force. Okay. So, the force of attraction or repulsion is happening also, and we can think this is the action at a distance force. So, around the charged straw, when I bring another straw, due to the region of first straw, the electric field is created, and when I take away from the first straw, then the force cannot be felt. So, this region around the first straw is called electric field. So, now let us know more about fields. What is field? What are the types of fields? Let us know that. What is a field? The term field in physics generally refers to a quantity that is defined at every point in space and may vary from point to point. The field is of two types, scalar field and vector field. Then what are scalar fields? say example of temperature or pressure, and you can see how temperature varies at different locations in a room. Then what are vector fields? We know that electric field, magnetic fields and also velocity fields, and you are seeing then how velocity varies in a fluid streamlines. As it is a vector quantity, so we are saying that it is vector field. So, you know from previous lectures that when two charged particles are separated by some distance r, then according to Coulomb's law, F is equal to k q1 q2 upon r square, and it is action at a distance force, as I said earlier. So, basically this Coulomb's force between two charges can be seen as a two-step process. First one, due to charge q1 electric field is created. So, E is k q1 upon r square, and secondly the other charge body is q2 experiences a force due to q1 created by due to the electric field created by q1, and that force is F equal to q2 into E. So, when we combine these two processes, we get Coulomb's law. So, we can define electric field as the space around a charge in which its influence can be felt by any other charged particle. Then how to measure electric field? The strength of electric field at a point in space can be measured in terms of two measurable quantities. The first one, electric field intensity, it is a vector quantity E vector, and also electric field potential, that is V, it is a scalar quantity. So, first we will discuss them separately, and then we will know what is the relation between them. So, first we will know how to find electric field intensity, electric field intensity at a point. What are the mathematical representations? Okay. Let us consider a charged body A having charge q, and this is our point of observation P at which we wish to find electric field intensity. So, for that bring a test charge q naught, and you will see the test charge will experience a force in this direction. Okay. So, we can define electric field is force upon test charge, unit test charge. This is force upon unit test charge. So, students, you should not be confused between unit charge and unit test charge. Unit charge means q equal to 1 coulomb, and that is a very big charge, but unit test charge means that is one test charge, and test charge having magnitude very small, that is infinitesimally small magnitude. Okay. So, electric field is force upon unit test charge. The direction of electric field is along force vector. So, the electric field direction is like this. Okay. And as F is a vector quantity, so electric field is also a vector quantity. So, it can be compared with gravitational field strength, that is G vector is equal to force upon unit test mass. Okay. That is gravitational field strength. Here force upon unit test mass, and in case of electric charge, electric field is equal to force upon unit test charge. Force upon unit test mass here, and here force upon unit test charge. Then question comes in your mind, why the test charge is needed? Let us see. Test charge is needed not to disturb the original charge distribution. If the magnitude will be larger, then it may disturb the original charge distribution. So, the magnitude of test charge will be very small, that is infinitesimally small. So, when you take very small test charge, then we can write electric field is equal to limit q naught tends to 0 f upon q naught. What are the properties of test charge? It is infinitesimally small in magnitude, positive in nature, and an ideal test charge proton is taken which has value 1.6 in 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. So, such a small value is taken as a test charge. Then we will discuss about the unit and dimensions of electric field intensity. What are the units of electric field? I am deriving only SI units. Okay. So, we know electric field is equal to force upon charge. That means, force unit is Newton and charge unit Coulomb. So, this is Newton per Coulomb. Okay. Or we can derive E is equal to Newton per Coulomb. So, multiplying meter in both numerator and denominator, we get Newton into meter. What it gives? That is force into displacement. What it gives? Work. And what is the unit of work? It is joule. So, joule per coulomb into meter. That is joule into coulomb inverse meter inverse. Or also we can derive E is equal to joule per coulomb into meter. So, what it gives? Joule per coulomb, that is W upon Q. W upon Q gives work upon charge gives potential. So, it is V upon M, that is volt into meter inverse. Okay. Then what are the dimension? What are the dimension of E? E is equal to F force upon charge. That is, what is the dimensional formula of force? Yes, M1 L1 T minus 2. What is the dimensional formula of charge? We know charge is current into time. So, this is inner sequence T1 A1. So, we get this is M1 L1 T minus 3 A minus 1 within a square bracket. This is the dimensional formula of electric field. Now, we will find what is the electric field intensity due to a point charge. Electric field intensity due to a point charge. Okay. So, here the two cases we will study. First case 1, that is the charge will be at origin, and the second case we will study the charge is at anywhere. So, we discussed about the unit and dimensions of electric field. So, now we will discuss how to find electric field intensity due to a point charge. Okay. There are two cases. First case we will discuss when the charge is at origin. When the charge is at origin. Okay. So, in a coordinate system, this is origin O, and here a point charge Q is at rest at origin, and here is the point of observation where the field strength of Q is to be computed. The position vector at point P relative to O is R vector. Let us imagine a test charge placed at point P. Then according to Coulomb's law, the force exerted on test charge due to Q is given by K Q Q naught upon R square R cap. R cap is the unit vector along R vector. We know that electric field intensity is force upon unit test charge. Okay. So, putting the value of force here, we get K Q Q naught upon R square into Q naught R cap. So, cancelling Q naught, we get K Q upon R square R cap. Okay. This is the expression for electric field intensity due to a point charge when it is at origin. Okay. So, the direction of electric field intensity is along R vector. That means, the electric field will be directed away for the positive source charge. Suppose here at origin positive source charge is present, then due to positive source charge the electric field will be directed away from the source charge. Okay. So, for negative source charge, when a negative source charge is present, then what happens? Yes, we will find that for negative source charge, E vector is equal to K minus KQ upon R square into R cap. So, is equal to KQ upon R square minus R cap. So, it means the direction of electric field is along the direction of minus R cap. That means, for negative source charge, the electric field will be directed towards the negative source charge. This is for point positive source charge and this is for negative source charge. Okay. And in vector notation, we know R cap is equal to R vector upon R vector magnitude. So, electric field will be K Q upon R square R vector upon R. So, that means we get electric field equal to K Q upon R Q R vector. This is the expression of electric field intensity in vector notation. Clear? Now, we will find what is the magnitude of electric field. Yes, E equal to K Q upon R square. What is the value of K? You know, that is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q upon R square. This is for free space, and when in medium E is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught epsilon R Q upon R square. So, what do you observe from this formula? That electric field is proportional to q, that means more will be the charge, more will be the electric field, and inversely proportional to r square, that means more will be the distance, less will be the field, and also inversely proportional to epsilon r, that is permittivity in the medium. Then more will be the permittivity in medium, less will be the field. Okay? And you can visualize these things with the help of electric field lines. Electric field lines, that will be discussed in next lecture. Okay. Now, this is all about electric field intensity due to a point charge when it is at origin. The next case we will derive when the charge is at anywhere. So, case 2, when the charge is at anywhere. Similarly, in a coordinate system, this is x axis, this is y axis, this is origin O, and S be the source point where q charge is present, and P is the observation point where the field strength is to be computed. The position vector of S relative to O is r dash vector, and the position vector of point P relative to O is r vector. Okay. And the direction is from the source point to field point is like this. So, by using triangle law, we get, using triangle law, it is OS vector plus SP vector is equal to OP vector. That implies OS is r dash plus SP is equal to r vector. So, SP vector is equal to r minus r dash vector. So, what is SP? That is r minus r dash. Okay. So, now what is the electric field intensity here? You can find easily. E vector is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q upon r minus r dash whole q magnitude into r minus r dash vector. Okay. So, the direction of electric field is along this. So, the direction of electric field will be like this. Okay. So, this is, see, when you put r dash is 0, when r dash will be 0, we get E is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q divided by rq r vector, and this is the case for point charge when the charge is at origin. So, we know that when r dash is 0, then we get the electric field intensity of point charge when the charge is at origin. So, we discussed about how to find electric field intensity due to a point charge, and first we discussed about the field, and then we know about the gravitational field, magnetic field and also electric field. And we did a small kids experiment also, and we enjoyed also this experiment. And in the next lecture, we will discuss about the principle of superposition and how to find electric field intensity due to discrete distribution of charges, and then we will discuss about electric dipoles. Now, when many charges are discretely distributed, then how to find electric field intensity? Let us see. So, these are the many charges discretely distributed, and the position vector r1p is from at point P relative to O. So, the distance between the charge q1 to P is r1p, and we know for point charge, for positive point charge, electric field is directed away from the point charge. So, it is outward. So, E1 vector, the electric field line will be outward. Then for other charges, the directions of electric field are shown in the figure. Now, when all the electric fields are superposed, we get a resultant electric field ER by drawing a parallelogram law. Okay. So, what is the resultant electric field? By using principle of superposition. Let us know what is the principle of superposition says. Principle of superposition says electric field at a point due to a system of charges is the vector sum of the electric fields at the point due to individual charge. That is ER, E resultant at point P is equal to E1 plus E2 up to En. If there are n number of charges, then it will be equal to a summation over I stands from 1 to n Ei vector. If I is equal to 1, then it is E1, if I is equal to 2, then it is E2, and like that. Okay. So, by using principle of superposition, when 4 number of charges are discretely distributed, we find the resultant electric field is E1 plus E2 plus E3 plus E4. Then by putting the expression of electric field intensity, we find that ER is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught summation over I stands from 1 to 4 as there are 4 number of charges Qi upon RIP square into RIP cap. Okay. So, this is all about electric field intensity due to a point charge and discrete distribution of charges. Let us do some numerical. First, it is asked in the numerical, find electric field at a point 2 1 due to an electron placed at the origin as shown in the figure. So, students, take a click from your mobile and solve it, which one will be the right answer, and I am solving also here. Here the electron is present at the origin and we wish to find at 2 1 position the electric field intensity. Okay. Then the position vector at of point P relative to O is R vector. Okay. So, what is R vector? Yes, R vector is 2 1 position, that means 2 I cap in x axis and 1 j cap in y axis. Okay. And what is R? R is 2 square plus 1 square root over, that is equal to 4 plus 1 5, so root 5. What is R square? Is 5. Okay. So, what is the formula of E? E vector is equal to K Q Q means here the charge of electron, that means I can write that is minus E, okay, upon R square into R cap, that is equal to, what is the value of K? That is 9 into 10 to the power 9 minus here into, what is the charge of one electron? It is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 upon R square. What is R square? Yes, 5, and here R vector. We know R vector is, sorry, R cap is R vector upon R. This R means R magnitude. So, I can write here R vector upon R. So, this will be equal to minus 9 into 10 to the power 9 into 1.6 in 10 to the power minus 10 upon 5, R vector here 2 I cap plus 1 j cap divided by R here 5, root 5. Okay. So, by solving this we get minus 1.44 into 10 to the power minus 9 upon 5 root 5 into 2 I cap plus 1 j cap. So, multiplying minus here I get 1.44 into 10 to the power minus 9 upon 5 root 5 minus 2 I cap minus 1 j cap. So, here the option C is the right answer. Okay. Here is another problem and it is your homework. Take a click from your mobile and solve it yourself at home. So, we discussed about electric field intensity due to a point charge and discrete distribution of charges, that when a system of charges are there, how to find electric field intensity we discussed. Then now we will study another case, that suppose two opposite point charges are separated by some distance, some finite distance. Two opposite point charges, this here suppose plus q and minus q, are separated by some distance 12, then this constitutes what, and how to find electric field intensity at any point. Suppose here and also here, at any point how to find electric field intensity, and what the system is called? This system is called electric dipole. Electric dipole. Di means what? 2. So, that means 2 poles. Okay. So, we will know more about what is electric dipole, and then we will study how to find electric field intensity at any point. So, dear students, let us know what is electric dipole. An electric dipole consists of two equal and opposite point charges, those are separated by a small distance. Okay. Here you can see minus q plus q are separated by a distance 12. Okay. For example, you can take a common salt, that is NaCl molecule. Okay. So, what is the total charge of the dipole? The total charge of the dipole is 0, that is plus q minus q is equal to 0. What is dipole center? See, the center is marked here C. So, the dipole center is the midpoint of location of two charges is called the center of the dipole. What is dipole axis? The straight line passing through the two charges represents dipole axis. Okay. What is dipole length? The separation between the two charges 2L is called dipole length. What is dipole field? The electric field produced by a dipole is called dipole field. You know very well. Okay. Now, let us know the most important, what is dipole moment. So, it is the effectiveness of dipole is called dipole moment P. Okay. So, let us know what is effectiveness. So, when a dipole is kept inside an electric field, then a couple of force will act. You are seeing this figure, a couple of force will act, that means torque is produced. So, due to torque, dipole rotates like a cycle handle also. So, you know torque is R cross F, that means it depends upon the charge separation and the quantity of charge. More will be the separation or more will be the quantity of charge, more will be the torque, and that will be more effective. So, like torque or quantity, dipole moment also depends upon the distance, the separation between the charges and the quantity of charge. That is called dipole moment. Moment means torque, you can say. Okay. So, as it is a vector quantity, so it has some direction. So, its direction is from negative to positive. Then the question comes in your mind, why the direction of dipole is from negative to positive? You see, when dipole is inside an electric field, suppose inside a capacitor, then due to torque it rotates, isn't it? That means it is aligned with the electric field to acquire stable equilibrium. So, to maintain stable equilibrium, the dipole is aligned from negative to positive with the electric field. So, as it is from negative to positive with the electric field, so its direction is from negative to positive, that is minus q to plus q. Then, so the strength of the dipole is called dipole moment. Mathematically, we can write P vector is equal to q into 2L into P cap. So, P cap indicates the direction from minus q to plus q. What is its unit? Q into 2L, that is coulomb into meter. What is its dimension? M0, M0, L1, T1, A1. Okay. What is an ideal dipole or point dipole, or you can say pure dipole? See, such dipoles have large charge and separation between them is infinitesimally small. That dipoles are called ideal dipoles or point dipoles, but it has some dipole moment. Dipole moment is not 0, it has some finite dipole moment. Okay, clear? Let us know what are the physical significance of electric dipole. Many physical systems from molecules to TV antenna can be described as electric dipoles. You can see the molecule, for example, water molecule is the best polar solvent, and here also you can see the picture of TV antenna. Okay. Then we will discuss atom as a dipole. In first picture, you can see in the absence of electric field, the centers of negative charges and positive charges coincide. So, that does not form a dipole. A dipole when it is formed? When two opposite equal charges are there, are separated by some distance, then dipole is formed. As the center of negative and positive coincides, so that does not form a dipole. So, that means dipole moment is 0. Okay. But when it forms a dipole, when it is placed in the presence of electric field. Okay. When it placed in electric field, then due to electric field, the centers of positive and negative charges displaced and forms a dipole, and atom has some finite dipole moment, and here the centers of positive and negative charges do not coincide. Next, we will discuss what are the nonpolar molecules and what are the polar molecules. See, dipole moment is the measure of net molecular polarity. So, by knowing the dipole moment, we can know which molecule is polar and which molecule is nonpolar. Then what are the nonpolar molecules? In most molecules, the centers of positive charges and negative charges coincide, called as nonpolar molecules. For example, CO2, carbon dioxide, CH4, etc. Their dipole moment is 0. Why? Because the centers coincide, and they develop a dipole moment called as induced dipole moment when electric field is applied. Then what are the polar molecules? In some molecules, the centers of positive charges and negative charges do not coincide. So, called as polar molecules. For example, H2O, NaCl, and their dipole moment is non-zero. That means they have a permanent dipole moment even when electric field is absent. So, let us know more about water molecule. You see, the chemical bonds displaced the negative charges and the positive charges. The negative charges on oxygen end and the positive charges on hydrogen end. So, two opposite charges separated by some distance form a dipole, and their dipole moment is from negative to positive. Its direction is from negative to positive. And water molecule is an excellent solvent for ionic substances like salt, that is NaCl we are using daily in our life. If water molecule was not a dipole, then it would be a polar solvent, then it would not be a polar solvent, and hence no chemical and biochemical reactions would have been possible. So, we see our existence as living being depends on electric dipole. So, you can see that how much important the dipole is. So, in the today's class we discussed about first we discussed about what are the fields, what is we saw what is a spider web, that the field is visible, and in gravitational field, magnetic field and electric field the field is invisible, and gravitational and electromagnetic field, that is magnetic field and electric field, are always around us as they are long range. Okay. And also we discussed about what are the fields, and we also saw a demonstration also about electric charges and the electric field, and we discussed about the electric field intensity due to a point charge, due to discrete distribution of charge configurations, and we solved a numerical also. Then we discussed about the electric dipoles, and we saw how important the electric dipole is. Okay. Now, we will calculate the electric field intensity at two positions, first at the axial position and then at equatorial position, and then we will find the electric field intensity at any point. Now, let us see how to find electric field intensity at the axial line of electric dipole. See, what is the direction of electric field intensity on the axial line and on the equatorial line. Let us see. I said that two opposite point charges are separated when separated by some distance, then it is called electric dipole, and this is the axis of dipole, that is dipole axis. And when we take a point, suppose P is the observation point, and we have to find the electric field intensity at that point. Then what is the direction of electric field intensity here? We know from dipoles that the electric field for a positive charge is outward and for a negative charge is inward. Okay? So, the electric field, direction of electric field is outward for a positive charge and inward for a negative charge. And you know that as I discussed, the direction of dipole moment is from negative to positive. Okay. From negative to positive, the direction of dipole moment is from negative to positive. So, you see, on axial line, this is the axial line. So, on axial line, the direction of dipole moment along the direction of electric field. Okay. Then what is this equatorial line? Here is the, suppose the equatorial line is like this. Okay. Suppose here is the point of observation and we wish to find electric field intensity at this point, then this is our equatorial line, or we can say it is perpendicular bisector. That means it is perpendicular and bisects the line. It is also called perpendicular bisector or equatorial line. Okay. See, here the direction of electric field will be like this, and we can visualize more with the help of electric field intensity, electric field lines. We can visualize more from the electric field lines. So, you can see the direction of, on equatorial line, the direction of P is opposite to direction of electric field. Okay. So, on axial line it is along E, and on equatorial line it is opposite to E. Then we will discuss how to find electric field intensity at any point in the next lecture. Okay. So, we discussed today about electric fields, and we discussed the more important part, that is electric dipole, and in the next lecture we will discuss the more about it. Thank you.